start with the prayer. Sahana Bhavatu.
Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 13. We'll chant verses 11 to 17.
Mayi Chananya Yogena Bhaktiravyavicharini Viviktadesha Sevitvam Aratirjana Samsadi Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam Tattvajnanartha Darshanam Etadjnanamiti Proktam Ajnanam Yadatonyatha Jneyam Yattat Pravakshyami Yajñātvāmritamashnuté Anādimat param brahma na sattannasaduchyate sarvatah pānipadam tat sarvatokshishiro-mukham sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvamāvritya tishtati sarvendriya-gunābhāsam sarvendriya-vivarjitam asaktam sarvabhritchaiva nirgunam gunabhotra ca bahirantascha bhutanam acharam charameva ca sukshmatvat tadavigneyam durastham chantike ca tat avibhaktam ca bhuteshu vibhaktamiva ca sthitam bhutabhartru ca tadnyeyam grasishnu prabhavishnu ca.
So last week we completed the study of topic 2, where Lord discusses 20 qualities of a jnani. Who is a wise person? I think we spent almost 5 weeks discussing these qualities. I forgot how long. I think 5 or 6 sessions we had. Anybody remembers? I think at least 5.
5.
Yeah, at least 5. Now, see, just to jog our memories, the entire chapter starts with Arjuna's question in verse number 1. So he clarifies 6 terms with Krishna. Can you explain to me? If you go to the verse number 1, those who have the book, you can go to verse number 1 of chapter number 13. So can you explain to me what is Prakriti, what is Purusha, what is Kshetra, what is Kshetrajna, what is Jnanam, what is Neyam? Meaning, what is spirit, what is matter, what is field, what is knower of the field, what is knowledge, what is true knowledge, and Neyam, that which has to be known. So easiest way to understand this is, can you explain to me What is spirit? What is matter? What is God? What is man? What is the relationship between human being and God? How to reach the state of enlightenment? And while doing that, what is that knowledge which I need? And how do I know I'm established in that knowledge? So this is the easy way to understand these six questions. Now, there are six topics, if I'm not mistaken, in this chapter. Can you project that, Makran? Yeah. So the first topic we completed, 20 qualities of a jnani also we completed. So how many? One, two, three, four. Four more topics are left. Neya, that which is to be known. Matter and spirit, what's the difference? Way to reach the state of enlightenment. And with the eye of, I'm not able to see.
Eye of
Oh,
wisdom.
okay, so message popped up that meeting is capacity is full. Vijay Makran, technical team. This is a message I'm getting on my screen. Hope everybody is able to log in.
We are not seeing anything, Amiji. We'll take it.
Okay. Like big message popped up on my screen. Couldn't see anything. Yeah, now I can see. And the last topic. With the eye of wisdom, liberate yourself. 32 to 35. And like we mentioned in the beginning, this is one of the most philosophical chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So we'll try to make it as easy as possible. So we'll start with topic number 3, Neya, that which is to be known, verses 13 to 19. So we'll chant verse number 13, please.
ज्ञेयम् यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परम् ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते ज्ञेयम् यत्तत् प्रवक्ष्यामि यज्ञात्वामृतमश्नुते अनादिमत्परम् ब्रह्म न सत्तन्नासदुच्यते.
Translation: I will declare that which has to be known. Underline the word has to be. Which having known, one enjoys immortality. Amrutam. Beginningless is the supreme Brahman. Brahman is a word which is equivalent of supreme reality. That is called neither Sat, existent, nor Asat, non-existent. Now, all these 7 verses you will find that Krishna is going to use the language of contradictions to explain the supreme reality. You will find out soon. He is near, okay. He is far. He is moving, he is not moving. What do you mean? Make up your mind. So why use language of contradiction? Now the reason for that is a very practical reason. And that practical reason is all these great masters, they want us to think. See, otherwise you just mechanically you go through the scriptures. You may repeat. It's okay to begin with. It may take care of your devotional needs to an extent, but no way it is going to help you to apply the knowledge of scriptures in your day-to-day life. Perhaps 80 to 90% of seekers in any faith, this applies to them, that they are well meaning. But since they don't think, they are not able to understand the message, they are not able to understand the values which scriptures they are talking about. So therefore, there's a dichotomy. They may mean well, in that sense I'm using the word, but your lifestyle, your actions, your emotions, your thoughts, they are not in line with what you are studying. Are you getting what I am trying to say? So therefore they want us to think. He is near, he is far. What do you mean? So it stretches our intellect. And only when our intellect is stretched, if we develop clarity, and only when we develop clarity, we are able to manage our lives. Otherwise, how do you manage your life? Are you getting it? So therefore, they use these contradictory terms. Actually, there is no contradiction. That's what we're going to understand. See, that's the reason Swamiji wrote so many books, especially introductory books. The Fall of the Human Intellect, Governing Business and Relationships, Holocaust of Attachment, and Vedanta Treatises the Eternities. That is the ultimate book. In a very concise but powerful manner, he explains the entire philosophy so that we can apply this knowledge in our day-to-day life. Otherwise, it is not easy. That's the problem a lot of people they face. See, I was in the East Coast just a few days back. I think day before yesterday I came, and somebody dropped me off at the airport. And that person is relatively new to this knowledge. Last maybe 2-3 years, on off. He has been attending, and New Jersey, New York traffic. Took good 1 hour, 15-20 minutes for us to reach the airport. And very nice guy. He offered me to drop me at the airport, and he opened up. He was discussing, and fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. He gave me his entire history, the last 25-30 years, which is not worth mentioning. Series of mishaps after mishaps after mishaps in his life, personal life, professional life. To use very gross language, absolute mess. I haven't seen a messier life than that person. I mean, you feel sorry, you identify, but we understand the cause and effect. The entire personality is mind based, zero thinking. And then he asked me the question towards the end, last 10 minutes were left. How do I go deeper into the study of Bhagavad Gita, especially chapter 2? Like chapter 13, chapter 2 also is very philosophical, you know. So I told him frankly, your problem is you have gone too deep into the scriptures. You have come out. Whatever you have learned, first you manage your life. So I explained to him. His finances were in a big time mess. I said, whatever wealth you are earning with your hard work, it is considered as a gift from God. We call it Lakshmi, it's a blessing. So how can you not manage it? Not to talk about his relationship with his, you are recently separated, and career is in a mess. So the point is, though he means well, but he is not able to manage his life, personal life, professional life, everything. Are you getting the connection? Then why study scriptures? What's the use? We study scriptures, the higher values of the scriptures, for what? Whether it is me, whether it is you, why are we studying scriptures? And all of you are sincere. Otherwise, why would you attend these lectures every week? So we study scriptures, anybody studies scriptures. I'm talking about genuine seekers throughout the world. Why do we study scriptures? For what?
To be a peaceful and happy.
That is a very general answer.
To apply this in our lives.
Mm.
To apply this knowledge in our life, which life? Which part of the life?
In all parts.
In our daily lives.
So
Excellent.
we can remember who we are.
Correct. All that is correct. If I can't manage my finances, if I can't manage my profession, if I can't manage my relationship with my wife and with my two kids, I don't have two kids, I'm just giving you example, right? I can't manage myself, then what study?
Self
And I'm
self management.
self management. Excellent.
I
So
think
that is
deep down inside all of us, we are seeking for peace, inner peace, bliss, finally, and all the relationships that we are around, we like things should be so smooth so that you don't have expectations, desires, and and yeah, I mean, towards that direction, I think we want to go.
no, correct. You're absolutely right. But is it happening? Is the question. It's not that our life is in a mess. This gentleman, I got scared. My God, how could anybody mess up his life? So the point here is intellect. That's what I am trying to explain. Therefore, they use the language of contradiction that at least some of us will start thinking. And only when you start thinking, you stretch, you develop your intellect. And only when you develop your intellect, you will be able to manage your life. Any aspect of your life, which includes your finances, your profession, your relationships, your own emotions, A to Z. Therefore, they are using the language of what?
Contradictions.
Contradictions. Number one. Number two. So then he says, I will declare that supreme reality, which has to be known. So there is no choice. And there is no choice. Why there is no choice? Not because Krishna is saying, not because Christ is saying, not because all these enlightened masters they are saying. He's saying that supreme reality has to be known. It's not an option. It is not yes or no question. There is no choice given to all of us. It has to be known. According to who?
Supreme authority himself.
Who cares for the supreme authority? Somebody may take that stance. I live my life. You keep your authority to yourself.
Well, the supreme authority would be God. It's His word.
Unknown. Who knows God? This is how people they may talk. Don't get me wrong. That's the whole point here. I will declare that. I'll tell you what is that supreme reality, what is that state. It has to be known. According to who?
According to a person who is living that life.
Why?
Discipline, self-discipline.
Why? Again, these are words. Words.
Because you are the supreme reality, right? Like you are Brahman. So it's like that is your definition.
Thank you for telling me. How does it help me? How does it help me? Why I have to know it? You're not convincing me. Convince me. Which has to be known. According to who? I'm not convinced.
Because I am that and I want to know what is that. as she said about the Brahman, it's the consciousness that we are part of. We want to know what is that? How do you feel it?
Yeah, but my life is smooth at this moment. Okay, let's take a good case scenario. Everything is peaceful in my life. It's not necessary that everybody has to be, a life has to be in a mess. The good many of you, in fact, life is smooth. Most of you.
Impermanence, Amji. It's peace, permanent peace, permanent bliss. Everything, whatever you have is impermanent, right? Because
Mhm. Good answer. I mean, slowly you're getting there. Think. Which has to be known. According to who? Nobody has answered that question. According to who?
the person who is experiencing that.
Who is this? Veera is experiencing something. What I got to do in West Bloomfield. You are in Troy. Who is this person?
Supreme authority, self.
Krishna, who is self-realized.
Who cares?
Or the one who has written the word needs to get out.
Only if you have respect, my life is my life.
According to your higher purpose, according to your, I guess your purpose, individual purpose in life. Because even if things are content, and even if everything is good or everything is bad, if you don't know your higher purpose and you don't know this scripture, then you're still not your higher self. I don't know.
No, you're trying. You're trying. I will declare that state which has to be known according to you and me, according to you, by your own experience. Because unless and until you reach that state, which is a state of infinite peace, infinite bliss, good many of you gave correct answers. Till I reach that state, I will not find fulfillment in my life. This is happening to all of us. This is happening to all of us. Can you claim that you are totally fulfilled? Can you claim that there is no incompleteness in your life? And you have experienced everything. We have good many people here, they have everything going in their favor. Good job, good finances, good health, everything could be top class, plus in your life. But in spite of that incompleteness never goes. There is something which remains. Even you may become the richest man in the world. You may become the most powerful person in the world. You may get all the name, fame in the world. You may have best spouse in the world, best of everything. But that incompleteness never goes, isn't it? Why that incompleteness remains? Why that void remains? What is it which is missing in my life?
Desire.
Because
Desire.
I have not reached my original nature. That is your original nature, which is the seat of infinite peace and infinite bliss. See how often we give an example of coiled spring. All of you know that. Somebody should have immediately brought it out. For example, coiled spring. You compress 4 feet coiled spring to 1 foot with your palm. It will exert a lot of pressure on your palm, isn't it? 4 feet, 1 foot, definitely there will be pressure. Release to 2 feet, less pressure, but still pressure. 3 feet, considerably less pressure. 4 feet.
No pressure at 4 feet.
Why?
Because it reached its original state.
Correct. So what is our original state? This is what they are telling us, and also this we can verify by our own experience. We have highest regard for all these great men. So that is one way of understanding. But the point is it helping me?
Chidananda.
Hmm?
Chidananda.
Sorry, I'm not able to get.
Sat Chidananda, eternal bliss.
Yeah, eternal bliss. See, am I experiencing that? See, there is that constant pressure in all of us. Constant pressure for what? Even if everything is positive in your life, there's a constant pressure in all of us for what?
Desires more.
Something more. We want happiness. Even though you're happy, still you're not happy. You want something else. You want something else. So why that pressure remains? Take positive example. Everything is like, good in your life according to you. It's not because others are saying. But still, what is it which is missing in my life? Because you have not reached your original Rajni.
Yeah,
You have not reached your
original
original
state. You have not reached your original state, which is infinite peace and bliss.
So therefore, that has to be known according to
you and me.
According to me.
According to me, sir.
Yeah, pin it down to yourself. Why it is so difficult? So I will declare that to you. It has to be known. And also, we do not know as of now what is that state. It is also referred to as Turiya, the fourth plane of consciousness, the state of self-realization. All these are synonyms. And it is beyond three states of consciousness, which are conditioned states: waking, dream, deep sleep. This is my life, this is your life. These are conditioned states. And no conditioned person knows what is unconditioned state. So therefore, Krishna is saying, I will declare that to you. Somebody who has reached that unconditioned state, that what is that unconditioned state all about. But since we are in a conditioned state, so all of us are caught up in these conditioned states due to our desires. We do not understand what that state is. But there is a constant call in you and me to reach that state. This is how we can understand. Are you getting it? Otherwise, the entire discussion is like, what are we discussing? It's just a theory. It's not a theory. It is happening. There is that constant pull in all of us to find something. We don't know what is that we are looking for. Actually, it is infinite peace, infinite bliss. How do we know? Anything from the world will never satisfy you. So, two ways you can verify that. Number one, what all the authorities are saying. Everybody, any enlightened master has said the same thing. And secondly, what is happening to me? Why there is no permanent peace? Why there is no permanent happiness? Why that void remains? So that is a way to understand this. And that state is beginningless. The supreme reality is beginningless. When he says beginningless, meaning it has no end. Anything which did not begin, how can it end? But three states of consciousness, they have beginning and end, isn't it? Waking state. Right now we're in the waking state. It is going to end when we hit the bed in the night. Either you will be a dreamer or you will be a deep sleeper. So we all dream, but that dream also has to end. Then you are in deep sleep, dreamless sleep. That also has a beginning, that also has an end. But the supreme reality has no beginning, has no end. All these three states of consciousness, they are projection on that supreme reality. I hope you're following. They're simple concepts. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Which having known, whoever has reached that state enjoys amrutam, immortality. Mrutam is death. Means no death. That word keeps on coming in Bhagavad Gita. No, those who are not from India, it's very easy to master it, which is equivalent of no. Violence, no violence. Cooperation, no cooperation. So, Mrutam means death. Means no death, meaning immortal. So, which having known one enjoys immortality. So there are two explanations for this. The first explanation is whoever reaches that state is not subject to reincarnation. That person comes out of the cycle of birth and death because desires are completely exhausted or eliminated. That is the right word. So what is responsible for birth and death is our own desires. Birth and death is nothing but the experience. So desire is the cause, birth is the effect. So as long as you have desires, you will be subject to the cycle of birth and death. So the state of spiritual enlightenment is when you eliminate all your desires, the cause is gone. How can there be a birth after that? So therefore you become immortal, meaning you become the supreme reality which has no birth, which has no death. And also from relative level, you become the changeless entity around which all the changes happen. You become the changeless entity around which all changes happen, which is a state of, again, spiritual enlightenment. But also, to the extent you are less affected by the ups and downs of life, to that extent you understand that you are getting established in this knowledge. Are you getting it? See, what is that self? What is that supreme reality? It is a changeless entity around which all the changes are happening. We already discussed that. All the three states of consciousness, they happen around that. The substratum is the supreme reality. So whatever you see happening in the world, all the changes, there has to be some changeless entity around which all these changes are happening, internal and external. So to the extent you start getting established in the supreme reality, which happens when you start exhausting or eliminating your desires, definitely you can experience this in your life, isn't it? You're not that affected by ups and downs of life. I don't see anybody getting excited.
So you say that we become the supreme reality, or we're connected to it?
No, to see, it's not 100%. Nothing is in black and white. See, otherwise, then what are we studying? So therefore, I'm saying to the extent you are established in this knowledge, what does it mean? To the extent you offload your desires, to that extent, are you not less affected by ups and downs of life? Not super excited, not super dejected. If there is something pleasant happening, you enjoy. How can you not enjoy? Something unpleasant happens, it's part and parcel of life. So in that sense, the word immortality has to be understood. I'm trying to explain it from a practical angle so we can relate to it. So which having known one enjoys immortality. It is neither sat nor asat. Again that word throughout he keeps on using. Sat meaning existent. Asat meaning non-existent. So you can't say supreme reality is existent, nor you cannot say it does not exist. See the language of contradiction. He says you cannot say supreme reality is there. None of us can say that. It is there. That does not mean supreme reality is not existing. Definitely it is existing. The state of self-realization is existing for a person who has reached that state. But since we have not reached that state, we cannot experience it through our body, mind, intellect. Body, mind, intellect cannot contact the supreme reality. It is beyond body, mind, intellect. So with your perceptions, emotions, and thoughts, you can't contact. See, right now we are contacting the world with what? There are only three things.
Our body, mind, and intellect.
Meaning of a perception, I can see you now, you can see me now, right? Emotions, you go through a bunch of emotions, ideas and ideologies. So we are contacting the world, empirical world, with our body, mind, intellect, perceptions, emotions, and thoughts. So you cannot contact supreme reality with body, mind, intellect. You can't perceive it, you can't feel it, you cannot intellectually comprehend it. So we cannot say it is existing.
So this is a process of
But
detachment.
that give me a second. But that does not mean it is not existing. It is existing for an enlightened person who is experiencing that state. He is established in that state. It's like a dreamer cannot contact the waking state, isn't it? Just as he is experiencing the dream world with his dream body, dream mind, dream intellect, he cannot contact the waking state. So, waking state is not existing. Are you agree with me? Sat, existing for a dreamer. But does that mean there is no waking state? Waking state is existing for who?
The waker,
For a waker, definitely, but not for a
dreamer.
dreamer. Then you can take the example of snake and a rope. Rope is definitely existing. For who? You and I are experiencing a rope. But a boy cannot say that. For a boy, rope does not exist because he is only experiencing a snake. Does that mean there is no rope? Boy cannot say that it is Sat, it is existent, because he is at a level of the snake. He is only seeing the snake where there is a rope. So the boy cannot say that rope is existing. That you and I are saying what? Also, he cannot say it does not exist.
We can say rope is existing.
You and I can say rope is existing. Why?
Because we can see the rope.
We are experiencing the rope. So therefore, boy cannot say that rope does not exist. It does not exist for him. But definitely it is existing for you and me. So 3 examples are enough to understand the concept of what is Sat, what is Asat. Yeah, somebody had a question?
No, it was really a question, but a comment. So this is a process of detaching from the world to connect with the supreme reality.
Yeah, it is. But how? See, that's what he is trying to explain to us. What is that supreme reality? From various angles. It's an education. So this is one such angle. I know it is like a bit subtle, but it's, I mean, if you go home and study, it will be easy. If you're hearing it for the first time, some of you may feel, oh my God, it's too subtle. It is subtle, but it's not that difficult. Verse number 14, please.
सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम् सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति सर्वतः पाणिपादं तत् सर्वतोक्षिशिरोमुखम् सर्वतः श्रुतिमल्लोके सर्वमावृत्य तिष्ठति.
So, very famous, oft quoted verse, description of God with hands and feet everywhere, with eyes, heads, and mouths everywhere, with ears everywhere, that exists in the world enveloping all. Please don't take it literally. Use symbolically. Otherwise, you will run away. Oh my God, what kind of strange, extraterrestrial creature is talking about? Is symbolically. So it's idiomatic construction to say God is everywhere, Brahman is everywhere, Supreme Reality is everywhere. From the minutest to the mightiest expression in the world, whatever it is, from the grossest to the subtlest expression in the world of objects and beings, nature, it's all same, is nothing but Supreme Reality. So, because he is all pervading, Supreme Reality is all pervading. Just as one electricity functions in all the gadgets, there could be millions and millions of gadgets, from a very basic gadget where really, I think nowadays these, for to use AI, all over America, these massive factories are coming up. Some of you must be aware, a lot of protest also going on. No, we don't want that superstructure in our town. It's a very subtle, massive expression of electricity. From that to the tiny little expression of tiny little gadget, one electricity functions. Hands and feet everywhere. Whatever expressions we see either at the level of microcosm or macrocosm is nothing but expression of God, Supreme Reality. See, right now I'm talking to you. You are listening to me. Literally billions of things happening in our body. Not millions, billions. In Vedanta treatise, Swamiji explains beautifully. It's from a scientific journal. Just to register a sight, literally millions and millions of operations are happening in our brain, which is staggering. Just to register a sight, even now, and even when we are sleeping, the same thing continues. The system, that expression does not stop. How many times our heart pumps in a day? Google and find out how many times our heart pumps in the day. Can somebody find out? Chat GPT, you can use quick. IT guys, you should have given an answer by now. Vijay, why so long? He's an IT expert.
100,000
in a day.
in a day.
In a lifetime? Can't calculate.
Opening Chat GPT.
2.5 billion times over a lifetime.
Wow.
That how many years? Swamiji turned 100. So how many
70
times
to
his heart
80.
has pumped?
70 to 80 years, it's 2.5 billion.
Wow.
Add another billion for 100 years. So 3-4 billion times. Just a figure. The network of these blood vessels in our body is mind-boggling. Goes into thousands and thousands of miles. So every part of the body needs the blood. You can go on multiplying examples. So this is at the individual level. If you look at the world, all the stars and galaxies and whatnot, what is that end of the day? It's nothing but the expression of Supreme Reality. So in that sense, hands and feet everywhere. Another way of saying God is all pervading. And still people try to give fixation to God. We want to limit, we want to restrict God to a place of worship. You understand the absurdity of the whole thing. So you may give that fixation so that we can understand that God cannot have any fixation. If you use for that, then it is absolutely okay. So God cannot be confined to a temple or a church. This is what we need to understand. That does not mean we should not confine. It is a representation. But God's Supreme Reality is all pervading. How can you give fixation to anything which is infinite? So in that sense, hands and feet everywhere. Eyes and ears, again it is used symbolically. Eyes, ears, head and mouth. So eyes and ears, they represent organs of perception. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Head represents mind and intellect. Mouth represents organs of action. So there are 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of action, and there is mind and intellect. So what is happening throughout our life? With organs of perception, we receive stimuli from the world. That stimuli is processed internally by mind and intellect. And then organs of action, they give response. So receipt, reaction, response is constantly happening. What is that? It is expression of God. So where is God? Quietly He is sitting inside us. He is everywhere. Another way to understand. And then He says that exists in the world, enveloping all. If you read the verse, that exists in the world, enveloping all, meaning He is not restricted to the world. Even where there is no expression, Supreme Reality is there. See, if you can draw a circle, imaginary circle, and that circle represents Supreme Reality, we can't do that. You can't fix Supreme Reality like that. But imagine, draw a circle. In that circle, put a dot, tiny dot, which you can barely see. Make it that small. Don't make it too big. So that tiny dot represents the entire world, universe, all the galaxies. You can stretch your imagination. Known, unknown, explode, not explode. He say just a tiny speck in me. So whatever your concept of the world, universe, galaxy, the substratum is what? The substratum of the universe is what?
Endless. Infinite.
No, substratum is God, the Supreme Reality. It supports that. It supports that. But that does not mean Supreme Reality is restricted only to that dot, the universe. Wherever there is, even where there is no universe, it is existing. Are you following? You have to just stretch your imagination. So He is trying to educate us on the magnitude of Supreme Reality. We can't really understand. What is that magnitude? Impossible to understand. Okay, another example. Waker's mind is the substratum of the dream world. You understand that? A tiny little part of our mind, when we go to sleep, comes out as a dream experience, isn't it? So the waker's mind is the substratum of the dream world. But waker's mind exists beyond dream also. As a dreamer, you experience whatever, everything you experience, galaxies and this and that, or whatever. It is nothing but the substratum. Waker's mind is the substratum of that dream experience. But the waker's mind is not restricted only to that dream experience. It is beyond that also. That is another way of understanding. So therefore He says, the God exists enveloping all. It is not only the substratum of the microcosm and the macrocosm, but even when there is no expression, it is existing. Verse number 15, please.
सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासम् सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृक्षैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च सर्वेन्द्रियगुणाभासम् सर्वेन्द्रियविवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृक्षैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च.
Translation: shining by the functions of all the senses, without any senses, but without any senses, unattached yet supporting all, devoid of gunas, qualities, and enjoying the gunas. The language of contradiction continues. Shining by the functions of all the senses, but without any senses. We have five senses. We all know that: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. They're also called as organs of perception. You can also include organs of action here. So the senses per se are inert. There is no life in it. You plug the eye and keep it on the ground, just for an example. I mean, what is it? It's a piece of flesh. It's matter. So what gives sentiency? What gives life to that fleshy organ? It is God principle. So the senses per se are inert. It is a God principle which enlivens them. It's like bulb. Bulb has no light in it. It is electricity which gives light. Also, God principle is the subject in your senses. It is a subject in your perception, but not an object of perception. So you can't see God, you can't hear God, you can't taste God, you can't touch God in that sense. It is a subject in your perception. It is not an object of perception. Unattached yet supporting all. Electricity illumines diametrically opposite things. Heat and cold. They're diametrically opposite, but the same electricity supports it. Electricity is not attached to heater, electricity is not attached to air conditioner. So similarly, God principle enlivens range of human beings. There are best of human beings, there are worst of human beings. You see best of emotions sometimes, isn't it? Like compassion, sympathy, charity, devotion, surrender, love, identification. These are best of emotions you come across in life. Also, you may come across worst of emotions in life. We all go through that. It could be indifference, it could be anger, it could be ingratitude, or whatever it may be. But all these emotions, all this different range of human beings, what is the substratum of their personality? Brahman.
God's principle.
It's a God, it's the same supreme reality. So therefore, we need to X-ray through a person. If you X-ray through a person, how can you condemn anybody? Yeah, you may not appreciate that particular expression, negative quality, but the same divinity is functioning in the terrorist, the same divinity is functioning in a saint. The substratum is same. You must learn to X-ray through this with the use of this knowledge, understood. Devoid of gunas and enjoying gunas. Now, gunas is nothing but the texture of our vasanas, the desires. All of you know that. Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Sattva is the best quality of desires. Rajas is mediocre desires. Tamas is the lowest desires. So we all have traces of all three. So the word they use is gunas, meaning qualities, the texture of your desires. So it could be ABC, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So what enlivens these desires, these gunas, is again God principles. But God doesn't have any qualities. So therefore it is called as nirguna. The simple concept. And that supreme reality is your own nature. That's the beauty. That supreme reality, somebody may ask, where is it? I want to know. It's summertime, let me wear my shoes. I bought best of the shoes, best of track pant, backpack, water bottle, everything is ready. Let's go hiking to find what? God. So he says, sit down, relax. You are that supreme reality. You don't have to go anywhere. That is your intrinsic nature. Intrinsic nature meaning you are that. It's just a high sounding word, intrinsic nature. You are that supreme reality. So you don't have to gain anything. Why you don't have to gain anything? Because you already have it. So how can you gain anything which you already have? You only have to give up everything, meaning your desires. You don't have to gain anything, you have to shed your desires. That is spiritual path all about. Karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga. Water is pure. What you have to do is remove impurities. So when you remove impurities, what is left? It's a pure sample of water, but water was always pure. So our nature is supreme reality. That's what we are. But the problem which all of us are facing is our extrovertedness. Extrovertedness meaning acquisition, enjoyment. That's what we are studying in the Sunday class. Some of you are attending Sunday class, isn't it? It's an amazing analysis in that book, Governing Business and Relationship. The whole pursuit that extrovertedness starts because of ignorance of who we are, what we are. The intellect is weak. So therefore that mad pursuit starts. Want to acquire enjoy to find happiness in the world which is not there. So that's the problem. The problem is not that you don't have peace, you don't have bliss. That's you. That's your original nature. Somebody say, I'm disturbed. I'm too disturbed right now. That is unnatural state. That's not you. The real you cannot be disturbed. So you are trying to find peace in the external world where it is not there. Trying to find peace in a husband where it is not there. Leave him alone, instantly everything will be peaceful. You go after that guy unnecessarily. Go after your wife. Leave her alone. She is peaceful. She is fighting with you today. It's not her fault because you're not leaving her alone. That's the problem. You leave her alone. Peace is the original nature. So problem is extrovertedness, acquisition and enjoyment. And that is one point. And also he is describing a state of perfection, devoid of gunas, enjoying gunas and all that, whatever we discussed. He is describing a state of perfection, and also it is a practice. Again, that is a style of scriptures. What enables me to perceive is God, not what I perceive. How does it matter what you perceive? Sometimes body may go through unpleasant experience, right? So what makes me experience pain is God, not what I am experiencing. Sometimes you may come across some unpleasant sights. You may hear unpleasant things. You may experience good emotions, bad emotions. Similarly, at the thought level. So what enables me to, perceive, feel and think is God. Excuse me. Not what I perceive, feel and think. So in that sense, it is a practice also, though it is a state. So slowly this practice, as we had established in this knowledge, it will give lift to your personality. And as your personality gets that lift with this knowledge, you are not that affected by the world. If you're not affected at all, then you're an enlightened person. None of us can claim that. We all get affected. It's a question of more or less. If you are getting affected at a drop of the hat, everything is bothering you, then you know what is it which is bothering you. It's not the world, it's not objects and beings of the world. It is your own ignorance. So how do you remove that ignorance? Through knowledge. So one such practice. Let your partner say whatever he or she has to say. What makes him argue with me is God, not what he's saying. Anyway, it's not worth listening to what he's saying. It will be rubbish only. I mean, where is your problem? So in a way, it is a good, you can switch on to God frequency. When your husband starts talking or your wife starts talking, don't take it literally. Once in a while, he or she may talk sense. And also you become more contemplative. We all want to be contemplative, right? I want to be in touch with God all the time. Who doesn't want to be in that frequency? But that's not the reality right now. Why? Because you're getting affected by the world. So in that sense, it has to be understood that though he is describing that state of perfection, but also he is giving us certain tips. It's a practice. So what enables me to perceive, feel, and think is God, not what I perceive, feel, and think. Apply it in best and worst of circumstances. Even when something good is happening, yes, I am feeling happy. It is an expression of divinity. What gives me this enjoyment is God. Thank you, God. Similarly, sometimes you may go through unpleasant experiences in life. That is life. Life is like a seesaw. So educate yourself with this. What makes me experience different experiences is nothing but a God principle. So you'll be relatively less affected, and when you are less affected, mind becomes calm, intellect kicks in, and you become more contemplative. You are able to maintain that spiritual frequency, that thought. So we'll continue next week. So these are subtle verses, but also they are beautiful. They're not difficult. So I'm trying to explain as much as possible from practical point of view. But how to apply, end of the day, therefore I started the class. That gentleman who dropped me off at the airport, though he means well, but life is in a mess because we don't know how to apply this knowledge in day-to-day life. So that is where Swamiji's contribution comes in. He wrote these secondary books, if you can call them secondary. It's not a right word. Actually, they're first books. So I will see you tomorrow, those who attend Sunday class, otherwise next week. Any quick question before we conclude? Anything which is really bothering you from today's class? And of course, you have Thursday. Thursdays we have small group discussions where you can bring up these questions. And there are like some students who have been attending these classes for a long time. They have been doing e-learning. They can help you sort out your thoughts so you get different views. It's easy. And then, of course, I always answer these questions. So that way there is complete clarity. So anything not clear from today's class? I don't know, whatever it is. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Amiji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.